All right, homies, I am back. Sorry for the wait. I know you missed me. Been very busy getting super inebriated at fun weddings, you know? Sometimes you just got to take a good little weekend out of your schedule to go lose control for a little bit, you know? Or at least, let control go, letting control go at my own rate. It was fun. I don't really get much time to willingly get off the program and chill out unless I have something dire to do. Like, I know the past month has been a little nuts for my schedule because it's just been back and forth. Got to show up for some family stuff, some emergency stuff. The same back and forth, whatever, but making it work along the way no matter what. No matter if I'm in the gym or not, I'm still trying to keep myself physically prepped and peaked through mobility stretches, just anything that'll get my blood moving, just so I can come back and be able to crush it just as much as I wanted to in the first place. And man, oh, we did good today. I deserve a treat, man. Oh, dude, it was so fun. I get a little worried sometimes when I get back on a workout, especially like I wanted to come back in yesterday. I told you guys that I should be back doing the workout on Sunday. I'll upload it Monday. That did not happen. I got back from my flight later than I needed to, had a lot of college to do, and by the end of it, the gym was closed because it's a Sunday. And, what are you going to do? You kind of have to look at those setbacks sometimes, not as like everything's ruined, what do I do now kind of mindset. It's more so like, okay, well, this is just a sign from life being like, hey, man, you know what? Maybe you deserve one more little extra day to just enjoy yourself, relax tonight, big guy, take a nap. Just rolling with whatever's going to happen, just because the program got messed up schedule-wise along the way does not mean that you need to deviate from what you're supposed to be doing, because if it were a normal day, I would have had my rest day, come back in and done heavy snatches today. But no, I did not get to do my bench day before I left town because just waking up at 6 in the morning and going to work out straight away was not going to work. I had gone to the gym the night before my flight, and it wasn't safe, Of course I want to be consistent. Of course I want to be committed, but pushing myself to the limit and physically risking my body's health, along the way, which will eventually make my mental health worse if my physical goes down, it's just not worth it, So I kept the blood pumping, did my stretches, but let the workout be for the moment. And I'm, as much as I could say like, oh, could have been stronger that day, could have been more confident that day, maybe the programs in the future is going to be different because I didn't do it the way I was supposed to, but whatever, man. I'm going to work with what I've got right now and work with the schedule that I've chosen to be a part of now, It's my choice to have taken that time to relax and let it go so that I could come back twice as passionate, and instead of just rushing and forcing a shitty environment and a shitty lifting scenario. I don't want to go to the gym and feel like I obligationally have to be there. I want to be excited, Anyway, pause clean and jerks. Damn. I know having a couple rest days definitely helps in keeping me a little bit less physically exhausted, but typically on that third day, I'll still be at that physical peak. The fourth day is where I take my rest day because I know that that's when the fatigue starts hitting me for the program I've written out. But that third day, I normally do pretty good. So I was a little worried getting back into it today that my core wouldn't be prepared for crashing into the bar, my joints, whatever you want to call it. But I was just doing my best. And although I was maybe cutting my pull by like a quarter of an inch and, not letting my front foot get out that extra inch that it needed to on some of the reps, it's so odd sometimes to be strong enough and confident enough in a weight to where your old shittier habits come out because it was just that easy. I got up to 265 today on my pause clean and jerk reps, and I'm confidently going to say we're going to crush 275 next week. Oh my man. For good doubles, there was no thought in my mind that it wasn't going to be some good sets. The only thing that, it didn't upset me, but I really want to work on next time that I did put a bit more emphasis on toward the last couple sets was just not getting enough of not using my legs enough on the split jerk, I think, because my arms and shoulders were just, and my core especially, were just so peaked and felt so good that it almost felt like I was military pressing it, even though obviously I wasn't even close to military pressing it. It's more so the feeling of like it was way less sporadic and form and technique dependent. I could just put it over my head with zero thoughts. It was the only thought I had to have was up, down, lock out. It's really fun. But even though it feels as easy as it's ever been, and you're physically peaked, does not mean that there's not places to work on. The technique and the form has to be first. And so after I saw that I was getting that habit picked up a little bit, I don't remember which working set I started fixing that on. I think it was the end of the second, or maybe just the last working set, but we had some good reps, and again, it wasn't perfect by any means. It's never going to be perfect, but we're making progress, and that's going to carry over very well when I try to do some heavier weight next week. Otherwise, bench press was a bit different today because it's kind of same little bit of a mindset where I'm super peaked and I feel very strong, but because I've taken a couple of days, my technique just wasn't the first thought in my mind. I wasn't as confidently, pushing the shit and driving it as hard as I could the way that I was on the consistent program, and everything felt great up until I got to about 275, 295 on my warm-ups, and it felt like I was physically peaked. The weight was not hard. I was driving it exactly the way that I wanted to, and it felt great. That's all good. But what was really odd was there was like the consistency wasn't there. The bounce, not like a crush my rib cage bounce, but that little bit of a push and like a dip. It's kind of like my dip and drive, but on the bench. Just wasn't there. I especially on that first working set of 315, you'll see it. I hit my chest and I almost like paused and then re-pushed through. It was really odd. I didn't have a consistent push, like I didn't have a consistent up and down, or down and up. And so I really had to lock that in today. It's such an odd feeling. It's really hard to explain when you don't really understand it yourself. It's something that I haven't really experienced much in my years of lifting, because I typically either feel great or I feel like I need to restart the program and just figure something else out. It's kind of odd to have that little in the middle kind of day where I'm physically peaked. The weight's not that hard. It's just not driving the way it needs to drive. I'm putting on so much more stress onto my body by not locking in the technique first than I ever need to. It was like a max effort set without the intensity. It's so contradictory, but it was a great learning experience because that one set was all I needed to just sit there and be like, all right, we are not doing that shit again. On the second and especially the last set on 315 on bench felt amazing. I really brought it back, got that core and leg drive, keeping my elbows as close to my body as I can to get that solid push through. I was able to really hold it the way I wanted to hold it, not letting the bar control me, but me controlling the bar, It's kind of like the mindset where you have to be able to pull the bar into your hips rather than push your hips into the bar when you're doing an Olympic lift. Because when you're pushing your hips into the bar, you're letting the bar path control you, then you control the bar path. I don't know, but weird analogy, but it's just the consistency got back there, and that's great. I'm very happy for it, but man, you got to really work for it sometimes. I was scared shitless for a second. I'm not going to lie to you. I was just sitting there like, man, is this really going to be a week where I fail after doing pause sets at 295? Like, are you kidding me? Because the pause sets at 295 flew. And so that's where I really knew where, even though I might not be as physically peaked if I had done 3 days in a row and did that bench day on that last day, the consistency, the drive, the technique, and the form is what would have carried over to make 315 twice as easy. Because having better form and technique will carry you so much further than just letting your elbows flare out and just fuck it, whatever, I'm going to push with whatever I've got with no thoughts. You got to have purpose behind your technique, purpose behind your drive, It can't just be a willy-nilly like, fuck it, I feel okay, and I'm just going to do it the way I feel like doing it. No, man. You know exactly what's supposed to be correct and what form you need to be doing. It's just whether or not you're going to sit there and actually commit to that. Commit to your weights, damn it. Man, it is great to see the homies again, though. It was a long weekend, a lot of traveling, back at work, but it's nice to be back on a normal schedule. You know, it's always great to have a little break, and it's not perfect when it's right in the middle of things that you're trying to get done, but when a break presents itself, don't shy away and think that you don't deserve that break just because you're not at a typical stopping point. Make room, compromise. Get to that middle point where you can tell yourself, I am satisfied and content and passionate and happy with the effort I put in today, and it is fine that I didn't get exactly where I thought I would go, because that's simply just the hope. That's the goal. It's not whatever you think that you're going to do in a couple of days is not what's going to actually happen. Even if you still hit the same weights, it's not going to feel exactly how you thought it would. It's not going to look exactly how you thought it would be. Everything can change, and you might not even hit that lift. You never know. So whatever your goals are, you can't expect anything from them, and you can't put obligation on those expectations for the sake of just trying to get to that goal. I told someone today, I am not in here to lift heavy numbers. I'm in here to lift with maximum intensity. I don't care what's on the bar. If I'm pushing it to my limit and doing what I know is my absolute best in this present time, then that's how I know I'm succeeding. The numbers behind the barbell are an accessory to the lift itself. The numbers do not fucking matter, man. Just do what's right for you. Embrace what you're going to feel most passionate doing and just send it, why make it so complicated and let everybody else's expectations taint your own? You got to maintain your principles while using other people's perspectives as a positive way to leg up on your own individual effort and experience, because no one's body, mind, or experiences in life are ever going to be the same. So take control of your own and just try your best. That's all it is. Anyway, before I leave you guys, I gotta get in the hospital, go to work. Physically, it was a back and forth, and it was a little scary at times, but 9.05. First time I think that's the first time I've had that kind of score. That just feels right. I was it would have been higher for sure if bench felt better, and I had that bit more consistency in the form and technique on all my lifts. But realistically, physically, I'm fully peaked. I'm doing very well for myself. I'm doing the best that I've got, and I have never been more confident and happy with the lifts that I've been doing. I'm not questioning myself anymore. It's great. I tell you guys all the time, I don't care if I go in and get injured, as long as I'm trying my best and learning from those mistakes and bouncing back from those setbacks as best and efficiently as I can. That's what matters. But other than that, mentally, dude, I'm feeling at a solid 9.4. I'll give myself the 4. 9.4. Feeling really good. I've honestly just been doing really well. So I'm gonna keep riding that wave, doing the best I've got, and just expressing that passion the best I can. There's no better feeling than going in the gym, being able to lift some heavy weights without thinking about the heavy weights. As odd as that seems. But it's just having fun, putting the barbell over your head, and just loving the life you got in the moment. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Just do it. Anyway, gotta go. I appreciate you guys sticking around. Hear me out. You know the gist. I won't be back tomorrow. I know that seems weird, but just because my program's a little messed up, as I said, and the scheduling isn't exactly how I planned it to be, doesn't mean the schedule is going to change. I still need that rest day before my heavy snatch day, because I don't want to do 4 days in a row and mess up the rest of my program. That extra bit of rest is going to make me grow better. I'll just keep doing my stretches, my mobility, everything that I can do to recover, so that when I come back, I can 100% confidently say that I put in my best for what I was supposed to be able to do, according to the effort I put in up to this point. Nice. Okay. Gotta go. I love you guys. See you in day after tomorrow. Yeah. Bye.